The Indus Valley Civilization. Lost cities. Forgotten script. Unearthing the secrets of an ancient world. Beneath the shifting sands of South Asia, where the Indus River once flowed strong and untamed, lie the ruins of a civilization so advanced, so organized, and so mysterious that its echoes still whisper through time. This is the story of a people who built vast cities before Rome was a dream, who engineered drainage systems that rival our own, and who vanished leaving behind no armies, no kings, and no readable words. This is the enigma of the Indus Valley Civilization. Thousands of years ago, before the pyramids reached for the heavens, and while Mesopotamia was still taking shape, a culture rose on the fertile floodplains of what is now Pakistan and northwest India. Archaeologists call it the Indus Valley Civilization, or sometimes the Harappan civilization, after one of its first discovered cities. But to the ancients who lived there, it was simply home. No golden palaces, no towering statues of rulers. Instead, what the Indus people left behind was something different: cities built on reason and precision, aligned with mathematical perfection. Streets ran in perfect right angles. Homes were made of standardized baked bricks. Every house, rich or poor, had access to clean water and a private drainage system that led to covered sewers beneath the streets. In the ancient world, this was unheard of. In fact, while Europe was still centuries away from plumbing, the Indus cities were already living in a form of urban paradise. When British archaeologists first uncovered the ruins of Harappa in the 1920s, they were puzzled. How could such sophistication exist in a civilization so old, dating back more than 5,000 years? Then came the discovery of Mohenjo-Daro, the mound of the dead men. Beneath layers of dust and time, an entire metropolis emerged, planned to perfection, complete with granaries, wells, and even what some call the world's first public baths. The Great Bath of Mohenjo-Daro, rectangular, lined with brick, and sealed with bitumen, may have been a sacred space for ritual purification. Yet, we can only guess, because the people of the Indus left no decipherable records. Thousands of inscribed seal small, carved stones bearing symbols, animals, and mysterious writing have been found across their cities. Bulls, elephants, tigers, and what some claim resemble early depictions of Shiva or proto-Hindu deities. But the script remains unreadable. No Rosetta Stone, no bilingual inscriptions, just lines of enigmatic characters carved in clay, each one guarding the secrets of an entire civilization. Linguists and archaeologists have tried for decades to decode it. Some say it's an early form of Dravidian, the ancient language family of southern India. Others argue it might be unrelated to anything we know, perhaps even a lost tongue. Without a key, every theory remains a shadow in the dark. What makes the Indus Valley even more mysterious is its silence. Unlike Egypt, there are no monuments boasting of kings or wars, no clear evidence of armies, no temples to deities demanding blood or gold. Instead, the ruins tell a different story: a society of balance, equality, and incredible organization. Power may not have rested in a throne, but perhaps in councils or local governance. It was a civilization that seemed to value community over conquest, trade over tyranny, and trade was their lifeblood. From the Indus ports like Lothal and Dholavira, merchants sailed the Arabian Sea, connecting with Mesopotamia, the Persian Gulf, and beyond. Archaeologists have found Indus seals in ancient Sumerian cities, proof that these two cradles of civilization once shook hands across the waters. They traded beads, cotton, textiles, metals, and precious stones. In return, they received copper, tin, and luxury goods from distant lands. Their ships may have carried more than cargo, they carried culture. But as with all great civilizations, time is relentless. Around 1900 BCE, the great cities of the Indus began to fall silent. The meticulous streets grew deserted. The baths went dry. The trade routes faltered. And one by one, the lights of the Indus civilization faded into history. Why? That question still haunts scholars today. Some believe it was climate change, a weakening monsoon that dried up rivers and turned fertile plains into arid dust. Others suggest that tectonic activity shifted the course of the Indus and Saraswati rivers, depriving the cities of their lifeblood. Still others imagine waves of Indo-Aryan migrations, bringing new languages and customs that gradually absorbed or displaced the Harappan way of life. Yet there's no sign of large-scale war, no mass graves of conquest. The end of the Indus seems to have come quietly like a candle flickering out in the wind. Even in decline, their influence never truly vanished. Many traditions of the Indian subcontinent may trace faint echoes back to their town planning inspired later South Asian urban designs. Their craftsmanship in beads and metals endured through generations, and their spiritual legacy perhaps glimpsed in their seals and symbols may have sown the seeds of later Hindu philosophy. Let us walk deeper through the ruins of Mohenjo-Daro. Imagine standing atop the citadel mound. The sun burns over the Indus plains. Below, orderly streets stretch in straight lines, each block neatly divided, each home built with bricks of identical size. There are multi-roomed houses with stairs, courtyards, and even latrines. Wells dot the neighborhoods, providing clean water to every family. Covered drains run beneath the streets, ingenious, efficient, and centuries ahead of their time. Nearby, warehouses store grain. Public buildings rise modestly, but sturdily, and at the heart of the city, the great bath glistens in the sunlit steps descending into clear water, once perhaps filled by priests or citizens seeking purity. It's hard not to feel that whoever built this place understood something profound about order, hygiene, and harmony. Yet their gods, their rulers, their songsoul, are lost to time. We have their bones, their tools, their art, but not their voices. Archaeologists still find small terracotta figurines of women, perhaps goddesses of fertility. Others show bulls and horned men in yagid poses, surrounded by animals, a tantalizing link to later Hindu iconography. Were these depictions of divine power or symbols of earthly fertility? The answer, like their language, remains hidden. When archaeologist Sir John Marshall first revealed Mohenjo-Daro to the world in the 1920s, it was as if an ancient ghost had risen. For centuries, humanity thought that Egypt and Mesopotamia were where civilization began. But the Indus Valley showed something else, another crate of complexity, older than most had imagined. This revelation shook the foundations of history itself, and yet it is what we don't know that captivates us most. The undeciphered script, the missing temples, the unknown rulers. Each piece of absence only deepens the mystery. Consider these: the Indus people mastered urban engineering, trade, art, and possibly astronomy, yet never left behind monuments of ego. Their greatness was collective, not individual. Their achievement, quiet, but monumental. Modern excavations at sites like Rakagari and Dholavira continue to shed new light. At Dholavira, located in India's Gujarat region, archaeologists discovered a remarkable city layout divided into zones: a lower town, middle town, and a citadel, each serving specific functions. Water reservoirs surrounded it, cleverly designed to capture rain and river overflow. This was sustainability in its purest, ancient form. At Rakagari, one of the largest Indus cities ever found, DNA studies reveal something fascinating. These people were distinct from later Indo-European settlers. They were an indigenous culture, unique and advanced in their own right. It is possible that their script wasn't lost due to ignorance, but because they didn't need it to dominate. Maybe their society functioned differently, governed by trust, trade, and shared knowledge rather than empires and conquest. And then there's the mystery of their mathematics and measurements. Across all Indus sites, archaeologists have found remarkable uniformity in brick sizes, weights, and measures, suggesting a centralized system or shared standard across vast distances. Imagine coordinating that 5,000 years ago, without written decrees or king's jest, a shared cultural precision. In every corner of their cities, we find quiet brilliance. In their beadwork, teeny carnelian stones drilled with perfect holes, using tools so fine that modern scientists struggle to replicate them. In their metallurgy, copper, bronze, lead, and tin, crafted with skill and artistry. In their potter, decorated with graceful designs that suggest beauty was woven into daily life. And yet, For all this sophistication, their tombs yield no treasures of gold, no statues of divine rulers. Death, it seems, was met with humility. Perhaps that's the greatest riddle of all. How a civilization could be so advanced, so harmonious, and yet so humble, leaving behind a world without arrogance, only wonder. Today, the Indus Valley Civilization stands as a mirror to our modern world. We see in it the roots of urban life, the first experiments in city planning, sanitation, and equality. But we also see the fragility of human achievement. The Indus reminds us that even the mightiest societies can vanish without a trace. In the silence of their script lies a haunting question. What stories did they tell? What wisdom did they carry? What truths about life and humanity were written in those lost symbols? As researchers continue to analyze new sites with satellite imaging, DNA sequencing, and AI-driven pattern recognition, we come closer to hearing their voice again. Each discovery, each deciphered clue, is like brushing dust off an ancient memory. And perhaps one day, we'll finally read their words, not as outsiders, peering into the past, but as descendants, reconnecting with forgotten ancestors. Because the Indus Valley Civilization was empty, just a chapter in history, it was the dawn of organized human life, the spark that illuminated the path to modernity. Its cities were the blueprint of civilization, its people, the quiet architects of the world we live in today, and its mystery, the language, the gods. The reason for its fall remains one of the most haunting puzzles of our shared human story, the Indus Valley Civilization. Lost to time, yet forever written in the foundations of our world. A civilization without conquerors or kings, whose greatest monument was the harmony of its people. A society that mastered the art of living, then vanished into legend. And perhaps that's why it still calls to us. Not because of what we know, but because of what we've yet to uncover. The wind still whispers through the ruins of Mohenjo-Daro, carrying echoes of laughter, of work, of life. Somewhere beneath the dust, perhaps, lies the next great clue, waiting for the day when we finally understand the forgotten language of one of humanity's first and finest civilizations.